You can use any method you like, but you have to use a method. For me, this is really fun because I use this table and there is really nothing. This is kind of a routine. There's really nothing interesting, to be exact, to be fair. It's just fun to write, that's all. So x is the variable in the problem. This one is 0 at -8. This one is 0 at 10. And this one is 0 at -6. This is very important because they have to be in ascending order. So -8, -6, and then 10. This here, this here, this here. When the denominator is 0, the function is undefined. And when the numerator is 0, the function is 0. It's done. All of them look like this, coming from negative going to positive. Or you plug in numbers. It's a waste of time, but it's fine. It's a good method to plug in numbers. But why? I count 3 negatives, I count 2 negatives, I count 1 negative, I count no negatives. This one says negative. Choose negative because only negative is less than or equal to 0. Which means this and this. I have 0, yes, so I have to include the zeros. So -∞, -8, and I have to include the 0. Union, I cannot include the -6, not possible. This has to be -6 with parentheses, and I have to include the 10. I mean, this is a 1-minute problem. If you know what you're doing and if you understood this. I accept the method in the book, but you may have difficulties knowing when to put the bracket or parenthesis if you're not careful with the full point and the open point, etc., etc. With a table, I don't have to worry about that. But it's up to you, any method. Very good. Anything else? I'd like to work on 24. So 24 has 7n plus 2 factorial over 7n factorial. You understand that it doesn't matter. When I expand, I still have to write 7n plus 2 as the first. I subtract 1 from here. It has to be 7n plus 1. I subtract 1 from here, and I stop at 7n in parentheses factorial. Why? Because I have 7n in parentheses factorial here. But then I have to multiply these two. So please multiply them. So 7n times 7n is 49n squared plus 7n plus 14, so that's 21n, and plus 2. So you have to write the final answer like this. Anything else?
Can we do number 8?
Number 8. 13, 8. Is the given conditions to write an equation for the line in point slope form and general form. So it passes through 2 comma -2 and is perpendicular to the line x minus 7y minus 5 equals 0. Very good. So here's the scenario. We want to find the equation of this line, knowing 2 things about it. We know that it passes through this point, 2 comma negative 2, and it's perpendicular, forms 90-degree angles, 4 of them, onto this line, x minus 7, y minus 5 equals 0. So how do I determine the equation of this line? I have a point, so I'm thinking of y minus y1 equals the slope times x minus x1, where the point will be 2 and negative 2, but I'm missing a very important part of the equation, if you want, the slope. I know that when two lines are perpendicular, m1, the slope of the first one, times the slope of the second one must equal negative 1. They have to have this relationship as long as they are perpendicular, and vice versa. If they are perpendicular, if the relationship is this, they have to be perpendicular. Okay. So now the problem reduces to finding the slope of this line. Because if I have the slope of this line, then I can determine the slope of this line. So let's say this is m1 and this line has m2. So I have to solve for y. Only if I manage to present this in y equals mx plus b, only then I can identify the slope of that line, the given line. So I have to solve for y. So first I'll keep y term and move x to the other side and move negative 5 to the other side. Remember, when I move a term from one side to the other, all I have to do is change its sign. You can say subtract x. It's the same thing. But now I have to divide by negative 7. So this divided by negative 7 is y. This divided by negative 7 is 1 over 7x. And 5 divided by negative 7 is negative 5 over 7. I found the slope that I needed. By comparison, this is the slope, x, and this is the y-intercept, 0 comma negative. I don't need it. I only need this. So if this is 1 over 7, this must be negative 7, because only negative 7 times 1 over 7 will give us negative 1. So I know now everything about this equation, about this line. Y minus minus. So this is y plus 2. Negative 7. X minus 2. I distribute, and I have to subtract 2. So then y equals negative 7x plus 12. What is this? The equation of this line. Passing through this and perpendicular to this line, whose slope is 1/7, that's why I knew that the slope of the actual line that I'm looking for is negative 7. Once I know that that is negative 7, then I go back to y minus y1 equals the slope times x minus x1 to put in the numbers I need in order to find the equation. Is this okay?
Yes.
Thank you. Anything else? Anything else?